54%. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota international?
Well, to be clear, the majority of that
It's 7%. There's a big difference between 54% and 7%, is there not?
excuse me, sir, could I say anything?
Let me move on. We've got a lot of questions here. What percentage of Somali head households in Minnesota are on Medicaid? 73%. Do you know what that number is for Minnesota native households?
Again, you're using the phrase Minnesota native households because the
Remember,
majority
the number is 18%. That's a wide and astounding difference.
We're not benefiting economically, and we certainly aren't benefiting culturally. Notice how we can't have a conversation with these leftards. They refuse to answer. They refuse to actually address the issue of these damning statistics. But instead, all they do is respond with these holier-than-thou platitudes. These people are brain-dead ideologues. You know, they're still locked into this fairy tale and create a world that revolves around slogans, not reality. It doesn't get past the fact that they will look at they just buy the slogan hook, line, and sinker and don't even bother entering the realm of reality. It's willful blindness. Everyone refuses to close on the eye. Here is the unabashed truth. There is no net benefit to Islam into the Western world. And we see it time and time again. It's not just the terror attacks, the lack of assimilation, but also the economic conversation as we just outlined. We're not importing groups of people that are contributing. In fact, it appears quite the opposite, as if they're robbing us blind. I think what's going on with the Somali community is proof of that. You know, the left tries to shut down the conversation with the use of racism, but actually it doesn't even boil down to race. It boils down to religion and culture. Again, a supremacist mindset that seems to view non-Muslims as fair game, infidels. You know, I'm sure you guys have seen all these memes and all these videos of Somalis in Minnesota claiming that actually the land was promised to them 3,000 years ago, or that Minnesota actually translates into Somali words as home, go to her. I'm sure you guys have seen the memes. A lot of people will tell you, well, it's cool, it's just a joke, it's Minnesota. But I've noticed for some people, it's actually not. And you know, it reveals a very key delusion. Many people from these communities believe that we are infidel, and that the land actually was promised to them, the entire world was promised to the Muslim people by Allah. It all revolves around the idea of freedom. The Islamic worldview is that all non-Muslims, all infidels, are beneath them and should contribute to the Islamic caliphate to simply exist, as if we're second-class citizens. And a lot of people are making this connection with the mass amount of fraud that's coming out of these particular groups. The thought process is that through the Islamic worldview, ripping off the kuffar or the infidel isn't a crime, but rather they are entitled to it. They're entitled to steal from us because we are lesser than and we owe them something. These are not new concepts. Islam's entire legacy is extortion, forced conversions, and holy theft. And just simply look at the Muslim world, look at the Middle East. It's obvious not much has changed over the last couple hundred, maybe thousands of years. But for some reason, the leftist worldview is that, you know, we can change them. It's a purely naive worldview. The reality is we are importing a deeply disturbing view. I mean, just pay attention to what's being said on Iranian state TV.
What game should I play, guys?
بل ومعتدية على البشر وعلى العقيدة وطبعا احنا بنتكلم ايه المستحيل ان احنا نيجي اليوم نخلي كده اسرائيل لو ان سوره الاسراء مبشره كده يعني وليس مستحيلا على الله سبحانه وتعالى فاصل الحرب من النساء هم مثل المعنى ان عشان اجلهم ممكن القائد او الجيش او المسلم يستمتع بيهم كما يستمتع بربه.
That's a clip of a Muslim Brotherhood state propagandist declaring that Allah allows Muslim men to rape non-Muslim women and to humiliate them. Again, it all ties into this concept of Islam humiliating and subjugating non-believers. This is the worldview. People are confused that after mass migration in Europe, all of a sudden there's a massive spike in assault on Western women. No, it's all tied in, it's all connected. They see you as infidel scum, where everything is fair game. That is the rationale, that is the logic behind the grooming gangs in the UK and Sweden. It's all rooted in the supremacist ideology where kuffar women are the spoils to degrade. Again, the question is, what do we benefit? We are importing barbarism. Are we crazy? Do we hate ourselves? Are we trying to destroy destroy everything that our ancestors built? I don't understand the self-loathing madness. It's time to wake up. This is not blind bigotry, it's not racism, it has nothing to do with the color of skin, and everything to do with a destructive, subversive worldview that seeks to do us harm and eventually, inevitably, conquer. The left can cry racist all they want, but that doesn't change reality. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
The mystery of the $15 phone bill. The clues just didn't add up. Here I was spending ridiculous amounts of money on my phone.
Oh shit, can she like...
Customer offer from the magazine.
Yo, that's creepy, dude.
Sent off in limited plans for only $15 a month. Dare I say, here's the pose. The best deal of the season is on your fingertips. Crack the case and save your money with Mint.
We need AI experts. Upwork puts top freelance talent right at our fingertips. We've got to automate our software, customer service, our hiring. Upwork's AI helps match us with the perfect person for our project. We can hire top freelance talent in as little as a day. And it's free to search, find, and post.
Get a match. Get a no-go. Upwork.
On notice over its response to anti-government protests. Iran's supreme leader blaming President Trump for the unrest and says the government won't back down, setting the stage for a violent crackdown. You'll notice that Bennett in London with more on this.
Molly, as we approach nearly 2 weeks of deadly protests, we're also hearing that hospitals across Iran are now becoming overwhelmed with the amount of injured people. Now,
What the fuck?
complete communications blackout pictures continue to emerge, showing buildings and vehicles on fire as protests expand those anti-government demonstrations, gaining momentum not seen in years. Human rights groups say dozens have been killed and thousands of others arrested. Iran's Attorney General warned today that anyone taking part will be considered an enemy of God and could face the death penalty. On X, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio offered support for the protesters, writing, quote, "The United States supports the brave people of Iran." Of course, over the summer, President Donald Trump struck Iran's nuclear sites for an operation midnight summer. Yesterday, he had this warning.
I've made the statement very strongly that if we start killing people like they have in the past, we will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts. That doesn't mean boots on the ground, but it means hitting them very, very hard where it hurts.
Iran's supreme leader offered a stern message and has accused protesters of acting on behalf of President Trump.
I don't know what you like, but I hate you Romans who want things. Get you back on your feet in no time.
And it will not back down in the face of those who engage in destruction, nor will it tolerate
I'll get
mercenaries
these walls
serving
dry.
foreign powers.
Now, back here in Europe, the leaders of France, Germany, and the UK released a joint statement saying in part how they are deeply concerned about reports of violence by Iranian security forces and strongly condemn the killing of protesters. And also, Molly, we're keeping a close eye on some protests happening here in London outside of the Iranian embassy as well. Metropolitan Police, they said on X that they're sending officers out there.
That's right. Thank you, Stephanie, covering a lot of ground there for us. As protesters try to topple the regime, the U.S. intervened, bringing now Hudson Institute Senior Fellow Rebecca Heinrichs. Thank you for bringing us your expertise on this Saturday morning. I want to start with what was touched on in the report about the hospitals being overwhelmed. So people are not just being killed. It's to the degree that the hospitals are having challenges. You have a nuclear program that's been decimated, war losses, economic challenges. It seems like the regime is in a particularly weak position right now. But what are the potential actions that President Trump, that the U.S. may take in Iran?
Well, Molly, that's exactly right about the situation. So the Iran regime is in an incredibly weak position for several reasons. One, because of American-led economic sanctions, and then the Europeans joined the United States in those sanctions. And then the Israelis, of course, significantly degraded the Iranian military, and then the United States came alongside and then degraded the illicit nuclear program. The combination of those things, of
Carl.
has demonstrated that the Iran regime is so much weaker than how they've been projecting to the Iranian people. And look, the Iranian regime has told the people, the reason that you are so deprived economically is because we're using all these investments to protect you from the Israelis and from the Americans. Of course, they say, we don't believe you anymore. They're weak, and they're strong, and they're pro-American. The Iranian people are pro-American. And so I think President Trump is very serious in his continued threats, essentially, to say, if there are crackdowns on this people, the Iran regime is already weak. The United States will back the Iranian people to finally topple the regime. Very credible threats on the heel of Mali of the United States' successful operation to arrest Maduro in Venezuela.
Yeah, I don't know how close we are to going back to the 1970s to real freedom in Iran after the people there on the ground. But there's at least one exiled leader that would like to go there and bring this country into modern day, the exiled Saudi prince, and asking the president to intervene. Oh, sorry, this is a quote. It said, if you prepared, and I know you are a man of peace and a man of your word, please be prepared to intervene to help the people of Iran. But I guess specifically, what is it that the U.S. could specifically do? And would they be interested in putting in one specific leader or another, or somehow allowing the Iranians to come to battle again?
So I think the immediate question is going to be, what is actually going to be different about these protests that enable the Iranian people to overthrow the regime? So the United States can certainly put a finger on the scale. Everybody's from it. And then today, Secretary Rubio was doing his support behind the Iranian people as well. What can we do? I think we can continue to make sure that there's internet access for the people, the protesters, and we can do that through Starlink, because there is an internet blackout on the part of the Iran regime so that people cannot communicate. So we can provide that. And the United States can continue to encourage the Iranian people. And then also, Molly, this is really important, all the armed security inside the regime has to turn on the regime. And we've started, in fact, we've seen this beginning to happen. Some IRG soldiers are not showing up to work. The Iranian regime is trying to import other
We escaped together. We used to talk about what we would do once we got across the border. I loved her. I loved her more than anything. What will I do without her? Let's let them be.
Alice? What are you doing? You should be resting. I wasn't sleepy. It's okay.
She didn't want to stay in her room any longer. You all right, Carol?
Yes. I'm fine.
You can't hide it. Not after what those deviants did today. It's too dangerous. Do you know what happened if the police find them here? We'll go to prison, Mom. Do you understand me? Prison!
Adam, we've already talked about this.
Oh, no! I won't back down this time. You're gonna ruin our lives, and for what? For a bunch of machines?
They are not machines. They are alive.
I'm alive. You're alive. They're nothing. And none of this would be happening if Dad was still here.
I will not stand for that kind of talk.
I'm not going to prison because you want to help these freaks.
That is enough, Adam. That's enough. don't like him. Sometimes he just boils over. It's been hard since his dad passed away. But he's a fine boy.